Hi everyone, it's Alex Sparks here from Sparks Finance and I'm your local mortgage broker in Bathurst. Today's video is why setting a budget is important when buying a new property. Now, the first one here is really just to determine your deposit. Now, it's really hard. A lot of people, the questions we get from clients when they first come in and go, I want to buy a property, how much deposit do I need? The deposit you need is really relying on what kind of property you want to purchase. So by identifying that if you wanted to buy somewhere for 600,000, for you to be able to sort of access that property, if you want to say minimum of 5% deposit, you can get in under the guarantee schemes and you would need a $30,000 deposit. But if you said, I want to get in the market and get $1 million property, that deposit is obviously going to be significantly higher. So it's really important to make sure that you have a budget in place to be able to help you determine what kind of savings goal you need, what kind of budget you need to be able to get into your property. The next reason for determining a budget is really to understand what kind of property you will actually be looking for. If you can only afford to go a purchase of 600,000, there's no point looking at properties that are $1 million. But what it will be able to do, if you know that your budget is around about a certain mark, you'll be able to look at a lot of different properties around that area and find out, okay, what can I get for this amount of money? What can I get for that amount of money? And that will help you target what kind of property you want to settle on when you want to purchase. So for example, you might be looking at a property and say, okay, well, I've got a budget of 600,000. I looked at one the other day that was the exact same price, but in a lot better condition. You'll have a lot better education around the market if you're looking at similar properties in similar price ranges. And then when you find that one, this is a really high value property because it's at a good price point and it's better than a lot of the other ones we looked at. So by setting a budget and narrowing your focus down on what price range you want is really going to help you settle on the right property. The next one here is by setting a budget, it really complements how much you can actually afford and how much you want to afford. Just because you can borrow $1 million doesn't mean you necessarily should borrow $1 million. If you're looking at properties and you're comfortable with X amount of repayments, then that's all you really want to afford. Just because you can afford something higher, if you're happy with $500 a week, look at properties for $500 a week. Don't stretch yourself too far to $800 a week because then you'll get in that property and you'll be stressed and you'll be in a position where you're not really enjoying that property purchase and it's not going to be as much of an accomplishment because you're so worried about your own budget and cash flow and you're not actually enjoying the property. So that's really, really important that we want to look at places we can comfortably afford, not just looking at places that we can theoretically afford. The next reason why setting a budget is so important when purchasing a home is to get pre-approval early. Now, this is a really important step. Once you have a chat with a mortgage broker, you save the deposit. By getting pre-approval, it shows that you're committed to the process and you'll be able to go to a bank, get that pre-approval and they'll say, yep, we're committed to you. All you need to do now is find a property. We've approved you for about this much of a loan with this much of an interest rate at this time. Now what that does for when you're looking at properties, one, give you confidence going into the market. You know that you've got approved, you can go in there with real confidence and go, great, let's find the right property. The other reason is, agents will take you a lot more seriously and take your offers a lot more seriously. If you find a right property and put in an offer, that's similar to another party that has no pre-approval, they haven't spoken to a bank, they haven't spoken to a mortgage broker, your offer is going to be looked at a lot more favorably than the other parties. And what that does is also to speed up the process. So because a pre-approval, we do basically the same amount of information as we do a full application. So therefore you're well and truly ahead of the other parties that may have looked at that property, and therefore you have a higher chance of securing that loan and securing that property. So this is why a budget is so important. Now, a lot of people say, what is my budget? What can I go with? And that's something that we recommend you speak to us about. So if you're looking at getting into the property market, just let us know. You can come in, we can sit down, work out what your borrowing capacity is, work out what deposit you're going to need, see if you're in a position to get pre-approval, and then obviously get a little bit more narrow on what kind of properties that you're actually after. By combining all these things together, we're going to put you in a really great position to be able to buy, a property. And, we really hope that we can help you, guide you through that process to make it as seamless as possible. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I hope to see you all soon. Thank you.